I hope you can hear the beautiful church bells ringing from just across the street. We're on the other side of Clopper Road, and this is our original church site. So the story goes, in 1866, Reverend D.W. Arnold began preaching to the few farming families that were in Germantown at the time. And a couple years later, Solomon and Eleanor Lehman donated this parcel of land for construction of a small log church. I can hear the bells. They're so pretty. So this piece of land and the land the church sits on, across the way through here, is the highest point in Germantown, so I understand. You can see the bell tower there. In another month or so, you'll be able to see the church pretty clearly through here. So there's a concrete road up here that used to be on the Lehman farm. It's not part of our property, but this is our property. We own this, and it's becoming more like a park. And there's a four-wheel drive access on the hill there that has been cut out. But for the church itself, eventually there will be steps here going down the hill to allow us better access to the site. There's a gap in the fence there. And just to walk around. It's pretty sunny up here in the middle of the summer, so we're trying to get some saplings going, black walnuts and sassafras. A lot of invasive trees like to grow up here. The black locust and the tree of heaven, which attracts the lanternflies. In doing some excavation work, several remnants were found of hinges and a horseshoe. And from that, I've been able to guesstimate where the church was. It's roughly the center of the property with a setback from Clopper Road. We own another 10 feet toward the church, toward Clopper Road. That area wasn't fenced in because it would be a good way down the hillside. It's pretty steep and honestly pretty dangerous. So this is our cemetery and our historic site. This is the sign. I've seen pictures of several different signs that were here over the years. It's a lot of gnats up here today. And this one's got graffiti on it. The Boy Scouts were maintaining that, but originally the church sign was up top. So we now have, coming into this main entrance from the concrete road, we now have a metal sign that will hopefully weather better than the old wooden one. These benches were brought up here by the Boy Scouts in the 80s. They were rescued from the Marylander Home of Rest, I believe. And they were going to get scrapped, but they were able to salvage them, and they've now been placed on concrete slabs so they don't sink into the dirt. This is the gravesite for the Lehmans. We have the names of the various Lehman family members. Christian Lehman is the large one in the middle. The monolith needs to be stood back up and possibly placed back on this base, but I'm afraid of vandalism and having that get knocked off again. But it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Lehman's buried in this area here. This needs a little bit of help. That's on the to-do list. Here's the grave of Solomon Lehman. As I said before, he and Eleanor originally donated the land, and Eleanor is buried here, but I don't know if she's next to him or next to her son Christian. A little more research is required for that. The most recent change up here is the Applebys. Their graves have been identified and marked. So Dad Appleby is Albert Ober, 1838 to 1914. And we have a couple, 1-year-old here. Cora Appleby lived for a year. I plan on doing the same kind of plaques for the Lehmans. Willie Appleby was 3 years old, approximately. Mary must have been named after her mother, 1874 to 1888. And finally, Ida, 1873 to 1910. There are still some trip hazards up here, some little stumps and the like. This is Mary Jane Cashel Appleby. She's the mom of the group over there. She's Ober's wife. Her grave had sunk in quite a bit, and a lot of dirt was added that came off that concrete road. Dirt was added to elevate things up over here. As I mentioned before, we're trying to get some more shade to grow in over here. So here's a white oak that we hope will be one day as glorious as our historic white oak over in the corner. That provides a wonderful amount of shade. So it's several tons of rocks that make up the restored foundation of the church. That's Germantown Road down there. Originally, Germantown Road was where not Lehman Farm. Originally, Germantown Road was Liberty Mill Road. And in the late 80s, Germantown Road was realigned just off the edge of our cemetery down there, and Clopper's off that way. It's a hard site to get to. Hopefully when the stairs are put in, people will come visit it more, but I've been up here and seen people sitting on the benches just reading and enjoying the park-like atmosphere. So this railing, this wooden railing, I originally thought was part of our cemetery or part of this road, but I've come to understand it's the edge of this road more so than part of our cemetery, our original site. See the Germantown Community Center and Kingsview Middle and their athletic fields just off the hillside here. Currently the way up here for most people is a path down to the fields, the parking lot at the community center. So that is a brief tour of your cemetery and your historical site. Hopefully the saplings will grow in and provide more shade, and this would be continue to be a lovely spot. All right, now we have some artifacts that were found up at the site. This is a hinge. The threaded piece would have gone into the log structure of the church, and this piece with the bolts is large enough. It must have been a door, and so the hinge would be in the building and then act as the pivot point for the door. Next, a horseshoe was found, calling back to the times when people came to church with horses and buggies. This is a piece of an iron rail that may have been at the front of the church as the railing by the steps to go up into the structure. A smaller hinge, part of a smaller hinge, maybe for a window. Least exciting is this little metal strap that's really decaying quickly. And no historical site is complete without pieces of pottery. There's some pieces in here. This rounded piece might have been the top of a bottle. Some of the pieces have a flat edge, like they might have been a plate or a saucer. Very interesting when you just dig a hole, the things that you'll find.